Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Vanessa, Marco, Marty. I hope you enjoyed the little music. Welcome to the virtual art gallery. We're about to start soon.
Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Tessa. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Marco.
Hey, Vanessa.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
This one from Marty is immersive.
Yes, yes.
I really like yours because because of the big pictures. So the contest is overwhelming to the point that you don't care about what is written down. You just like the picture and you want to sign it. That's me at least.
Okay, thank you.
If you, I'm happy to. If I don't know if you're doing your testing, but if you need anyone, please feel free to send it to me.
I can hear you fine, Marco. I don't know
Can you
if
hear
it is
me?
my phone. Yes, but in a very low. I don't know if it is because of music.
I think it's because of the music.
Yes, I suppose.
Do you want me to
Like
stop
we
the
need to
music,
say
guys?
Oh,
if you can
Right? Get started.
lower that down.
Yeah, I've lowered it on my end.
Okay,
Is it lower
like
for
this.
you?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Perfect.
better.
Thank you.
Yes, you need to.
Welcome, everybody.
Say your job.
Can't hear you. I think it's a bit too loud at this. I don't know why.
I'm gonna put the music from here. It should be better. Is it better now?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is better?
Yes.
Yeah, this one, Vanessa, is my favorite.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. Hi, Dora.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
How are you? Hello.
Fine, thank you. Hello.
Mm.
Hi, Sabrina. Welcome.
Hi, Tessa.
So great to have you with us in the metaverse.
Thanks. Thanks for doing that. I'm really excited to see all these amazing projects here. And it's really nice here.
Thank you. I'm happy you like it. Welcome, everybody. We're about to start in a few minutes. Waiting for everybody to show up.
Sorry, Tessa, I really can't hear anything over the music.
Yeah, same.
It's yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's either the music
yeah.
or we talk.
I think it, yeah.
All right, everybody. So to get things started, I would like to welcome you all to the event. And we're still waiting for our speakers to arrive, but you here. And I want to ensure that you have a great experience in this metaverse. So I'm just going to make sure that you can hear me well. Please let me know if you can hear me well, if there's an echo or something. It's all good?
Yes.
Amazing. So I'm Tessa. I think you all know me. I'm going to be your host. And I would like to take this opportunity to invite the live streamers to join us in the metaverse. This metaverse experience is a 3D experience. And you can join us via legocreatives.com and upgrade as VIP to join us in this space. It's a limited space, so there are limited tickets available if you are wanting to experiment the 3D world. I highly encourage you to give it a try. It's super fun. Now we have so many of you already here. Sabrina from Germany, Dora from Tunisia, Vanessa from Spain. Chris is our video maker for the virtual space. So he's going to be here to film so we can have some memories of the event. We have Marty from Canada, Yvonne from Colombia, Maria, I think you're from Brazil, but I'm not sure. I don't think we've met yet, so welcome. And we have Marco from the UK, a European traveler and world traveler. Maybe to get started, I would like to invite you all, if you would like to just say a few words, how you feel in this metaverse. If you need help, this is your opportunity to ask a question as well. Maybe Dora, you want to start sharing a little bit?
Yes, hello everyone from the world. It's an international event. It's very interesting, and I'm very excited to be part of this amazing event in Metaverse. I really like the space and the art gallery space, and hope to discover all the projects.
This is great. Thank you, Dora. Maybe Yvonne, you'd like to say a few words?
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Yvonne from Bogota, Colombia. And I'm really excited to be part of this event. And to know you and to see more of your work. I see some amazing things I haven't seen when I was yesterday here visiting and hanging up my my work. So it's really cool to meet you.
Great, thank you for being here. Thank you. Maybe we'd like to hear Vanessa. You want to say a few words? I think I had to mute you. There was some background noise, but you can unmute yourself and share, Vanessa.
Hi everybody, I am Vanessa, I'm from Spain. I am very happy to be here with all of you and for having this great time in the metaverse and watching all your great job. So I hope this could be as amazing as all of you is like me, for me. So nothing more. I am seeing all your jobs and they are great.
Thank you, Vanessa. Marco, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yes, sure. Hi, Tessa. Hi, everyone. Very happy to be here. It's impressive what you've done, guys, in such a, well, I say short amount of time, but probably you have worked very hard on this. It's amazing to see what everyone has done. And please let me know what's the cat's name and the dog's name. I must know it. They've been there since yesterday night, and I don't know their name.
No, this is great. This is great. Thank you, Marco, for being here. Great. And who else? Let me see. Oh, we have Sabrina. Sabrina is a special guest from Germany. Sabrina, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm still figuring out how to move properly to see all of you, and yeah, not yet there. So I try to get everything done, but it looks really amazing. I just wanted to check quickly the projects. It's amazing how it's displayed. You have a really good feeling about, let's say, here in the metaverse, these projects, so how they are outlined and how they are presented. I see, let's say, when I remember last time I was in a art gallery, I think that was 1 year ago, Tessa, it was totally different. So I think it's nice to have everything at the walls and just see it. And I'm really, really excited to hear more about the projects. So well done, Tessa.
Would you like to say a few words about what you do as well?
Yeah, so I'm a design strategist. I am located in Stuttgart, and I'm now looking also into, let's say, the whole Web3 space. Metaverse is one part of it. I want to explore it, and also I'm really interested in how that can create value for us, how we can create projects with it, business cases, and yeah, how we can create some impact with it.
Perfect. So this is the great place for you then. Thank you for being here. To move around the space, you can use your keyboard. You can go up, down, right, left. You can also use other features to have a more panoramic view. You can press Q and it's gonna give you a panoramic view on the left, or you can press E and you're gonna be able to move around with your keyboard as well. It's great experience like this. And you have also the 1 to 5. So when you press 1 to 5, either of those features are gonna make you either say a hi or do a little dance. And there's also the yes, which is the Y, and there's the C for clapping as well. So you could use those features, and I think you're gonna get used to it as you use the tool. Great. So I hope this is helpful. Amazing. Let's have maybe Bianca. I don't know if you can share a few words, maybe Bianca.
Yes, it's amazing to be here to see your amazing work displayed on the walls. This is a actual art, virtual art gallery experience. It's amazing. I actually feel like I'm in a room with you, and we can like clap together, and it's very nice to see so much excitement in the room. And we have doggies, and our cat is under the bench there, so it feels like home a little bit.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I think we have, I think we're going to start. Where's Marty? Marty was there. He's no longer there. I don't see Marty anymore.
I'm right
let's get
behind you.
started then. Are you here, Marty?
I'm right behind you.
Oh, there you
I'm in
go.
front of you.
Cool. Marty, let's get this conversation started.
All right.
Marty,
This
would you like
is
to present
awesome. I
yourself
love
to the
this.
audience?
Okay. Hi, I'm Marty Finestone. I'm in snowy Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. We've got, I don't know, 26 something inches of snow on the ground here. More to come. So it's cold, it's snowy, but I'm excited to be here in the legal design gallery. I remember coming to last year's event, and we were flat. We were on Zoom, or we were 2D in Gather, but this 3D is just incredible to have all the content, all the works displayed as artwork. It's just phenomenal.
Great, Marty. Would you like
So
to
I think
present
we should
yourself
all
to the
hit.
audience?
I think we should all hit letter C on our keyboards and give Tessa a round of
let's do
applause
it.
for putting this together. So hit C or number 1 or number 2 on your keyboard. Let's show some love. All right. Thanks so much, Tessa.
So let's continue this conversation because we discussed we would be opening together the event, Marty. So Marty is a legal design practitioner, contract simplifier. He is the founder of Legal Agency as well as Counsel Collective. And today, Marty, we decided to start the event by talking a little bit to put this event in context about the new trends at the intersection of law and design. And so I'm excited that we get to open together to share some of the, research and insights from your practice. So maybe to get started, Marty, I would like to ask you, why do you see this work, this contract simplification work? Why is it important? Why should we care as legal professionals or as clients?
Yeah. So you could kind of look at it. There's two categories. There's the market push for change, and then there's a legislative push for change to care. So on the market side, you certainly have a growing discontent amongst lawyers, but certainly a massive discontent or just general blasé from the general public and the business community around how contracts appear, how contracts work or don't work, and how they function. And so that's pushing for clearer language. That's pushing for, well, we need to avoid disputes, not plan what happens if there's a dispute when it comes to that being a focus of contracts and legal documents. And then the legislative push, well, we've seen it starting to see it gain some momentum. It cropped up here, there, in some jurisdictions, most famously in the GDPR in terms of how data is going to be, or information around data protection practices are being conveyed. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had the TLDR Act, the Terms of Service. I forget the acronym's name, but anyways, it's an act, it's a bill that is been brought forth in the U.S. It acknowledges that terms of service agreements are way too long, way too hard to read, and companies can, and some do, use the convoluted legalese style and length of agreement to hide certain practices that they do and get acceptance and enforceable contractual acceptance for that. And so this piece of legislation is calling for at least to be a summary to help make things a little more transparent for people. who are going to read that. And then when you have this transparency, that may act as a catalyst, or if not a catalyst, but a boost to other changes that could happen, or other pushes for change. So the legislative change is coming. Just one more example, in Canada, we have, there was a privacy bill that was brought forth that called for updating our privacy legislation, and one piece in that was calling for basically plain language, easy to understand, relaying of information of data practices. So the legislative change there, the marketplace piece is certainly there because it's better for business. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really interesting to hear your insights, and I think we can all relate to that. And how can we solve this problem? Is legal design the way to solve this problem? Is it something, what do you think about legal design as a methodology that could solve this problem?
Well, I guess if we take the problem and narrow it down to long, hard to understand agreements, let's say with consumers, between corporations and consumers on the B2C side, legal design isn't going to get everyone to read every agreement, but it could certainly do a lot to make the information much more easier to understand, because what we have now is text at a level that is not clear, not understandable and therefore not accessible to a big part of those people who are clicking agree. And they've been conditioned to ignore them because of their length. So I think legal design could do a lot to start to open up who is going to be reading and looking at these agreements. And moreover, it can encourage them to understand their rights. So I think it's me. I don't know if it's the solution, because I don't want, but I think it's going to be the main solution to do that. But again, it's not just about the visuals. So it has to be applying all of the legal design principles in terms of conveying the information in an easy to understand manner, making it accessible to the reader, making the content useful and usable, sorry. So therefore it's going to be useful to them. But it also, if we use legal design, hopefully there could be influence in terms of what goes into the agreements. So maybe that'll shift some of the unilateral nature of these agreements. Is it the solution to make those changes? No, I think that's only going to come from legislative mandate in terms of what goes into those agreements. But it's certainly going to be part of that solution.
This is great, Marty. And we don't have we don't have necessarily we don't necessarily have we don't necessarily have opportunities to learn this. How did you get to learn this? And if you had one tip to give to someone who wanted to get started, what would you tell them?
Sure. Well, I guess a lot of it has to do with the help from legal creatives and the course that you offer and the certifications you offer. In terms of how I've learned this, well, been practicing for 15 years drafting contracts. I've seen where they work, where they don't work, and mostly it's where they don't work. I've seen the protracted negotiation processes that come from hard to understand drafting. I've seen the disputes that come from it. So it's called learning from mistakes. In my undergraduate studies, I did some media theory, communication theory, sociology, information design, sort of hodgepodge there. I've been a designer since the early mid-90s. I designed my first website in 95. If you go to my company website, legaladjacency.com, I did that all myself. Same thing with the other project I've got going, counselcollective.co, did that myself. So I've got those innate skills, but legal design, so and I've also studied design thinking, but sort of the pulling it into the legal context for some reason eluded me. And it wasn't until I joined Legal Creatives and immersed myself in the legal design world and that it pulled it all together. So I find it interesting that I have all these dots and stars in the constellation But it wasn't until I got to here that I was able to pull it all together and connect everything.
Well, this is great. So learning from practice, trying new things, doing things a little bit differently with the hope of making things better. And I'm glad you mentioned the platform. Most of you have been or are learning on the platform, and the Lego Creatives community is just so amazing. I'm so grateful that you are part of this and that you're here today, Marty, as well as everybody else, to just talk about you practice, you to share your insights and to share your work. In just a moment, we're about to see the work of the members and the guests, and I'm really excited. Also, Marty, we're going to see your work as well. But before we do, I'd like to ask you one last question, Marty. I think you are working on some interesting projects. Would you like to briefly mention some of the exciting projects you're working on so everybody can know a little more about what you do?
Sure. So I do, in my consultancy, I apply legal design principles to essentially do three things: simplify legal documents, improve and simplify legal operations within organizations, and then also help lawyers thrive through better experiences in that sense. But where on that, I'll sort of, I don't want to talk for too long, so I'll just pick up on that third point since I'm so excited about this. Yesterday, I launched to the world, opened the doors, a new project called Counsel Collective, which is a virtual co-working community for lawyers. But really what's behind it is my goal and the goal of that project, which is to improve the mental health and well-being for lawyers working from home using mindful productivity and the power of human connection. So I use the principles of legal design to narrow down the problem of what sucks, what's the downside about working from home, and then use the principles to ideate and go through the process of ideation to concept to testing, user testing, iteration, and research. And so this is actually something that I encourage everyone to think about, is that, yes, today is about contracts and legal documents, but legal design is more than just that. I think this is something that we need to talk about a lot more and talk about a lot more out there as we educate the world about legal design, is that it's not just about the documents, not just about maybe using some infographics and things better, but it's about using these principles and applying it to this delivery of legal services. It applies to how lawyers work, and it applies to access to justice, and it applies to legal education, legal training, conveying to information, and so much more, and even the legal service design. And so I guess that's kind of like an insight that's come up this week in a few conversations I had, is that, yeah, there's a lack of, maybe not a lack of, but legal design is new, and we certainly need to educate people. It's not about the visuals. And one way to do that is to talk about these other areas. But coming back to something I'm doing, so I've used these principles to work on something that's very near and dear to me, which is, it's great to work from home. It's great to be a digital nomad, but it's not perfect for some, because you could feel isolated. You could be lonely, but you could also lack on the network effect of being able to walk down the hall and knock on someone's door and talk to them and ask them a question, or brainstorm, or run into someone and get that social interaction, or just work productively. And I've put something out there in the world. So go to counselcollective.co if you're curious to see how that could do for lawyers. And it all comes back to improving the mental health, which is something that is very important to me.
Well, yeah, I think we can collab this. This is great. What's the best way to contact you, Marty?
Sure. So if you're a member of Legal Creatives and you're on the Circle group, I'm there. You can find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Marty Finestone, Finestone, which actually reads Finest One if you read it quickly. I didn't know that till I was like 19. I didn't clue into that. And my website is legaladjacency.com. And then there's I'm on Instagram at Hi Marty F, Hi Marty F, all one word. So that's where you can find me.
This is
Or come talk to me
amazing.
here in the gallery if you're here. I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, we have Pixel champagne for the occasion. I wish it was real.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, Marty, for sharing some of your insights. I know this
Thank
some
you.
of you work over there, but before we move, we all here in the center, let's continue the conversation and then we're gonna move. I see we have Dennis with us. Hi, Dennis. Welcome to the virtual gallery. Would you like to say a few words to present yourself?
Hi, everyone. Hi, and sorry for joining late. I thought in my diary it was sort of an hour later, so I kind of saw the messages on the phone that we're live and thought, hey, I better get back, get on. So, hi, everyone. This is pretty cool. Thanks, Tessa, for putting this together. I don't know how many of you have been in the sort of doing stuff inside metaverses. So I'm pretty. I'm a little bit of a skeptic actually. So but this is pretty cool. I'm really enjoying this. So I think this is great. So Tessa, as always, is opening my mind. Tessa and the rest of the legal creative crew opening my mind to new things. So bravo to that.
Thank you so much for those kind words and for being here today. Dennis, you have such great experience at the intersection of design and technology. Maybe you'd like to share a little bit about, first what you do, who you serve, the initiatives you started, and then we can move this conversation forward, talking a little bit more about some of the work and research you've done.
Sure thing. Okay, so I'm the founder of Majoto. You can find that at Majoto, MAJOTO.io. You'll see it on my wall, my bit of the gallery. You can see the details anyway. And that's a contract design and automation startup. But we're really sort of focusing on using legal design and combining it with tech to try and solve, there's very stubborn and persistent contract problems. But we're trying to solve it in a different way and in a simpler way. And what we're finding is that if you can solve a lot of problems in a much simpler way if you use design rather than a lot of complex tech. And we see a lot of sort of quite complex tech being used to solve actually quite simple problems. And we're sort of trying to solve those problems in simple ways. So that's Majoto. I also consult on contract design and contract process improvement and legal operations. Most of the time I do that through a London new law company called Lex Solutions. So I'm the head of innovation at Lex Solutions. So I lead these innovation projects for, they tend to be legal teams in medium-sized or fast-growing companies. Both of those things are all about, and primarily I'm focusing on contracts, and all of that is about solving contracts in different ways. One of the things that we're doing within Majoto is we've set up a beta club. So this is our technology is in a private beta phase. We've set up a private beta club, which you can, if you're interested, I'd love you guys to join. Basically, in this club, it's an opportunity to sort of try out Majoto, but more importantly, we're building a community to try and solve contractual problems in a different way. So we've got various working groups that we're now setting up, which will target some specific activities. So for example, design patterns or looking up at a particular template or a particular niggling problem in contracts. And we're going to actually solve this rather than just talking about it. We're going to get together and solve it in an open source way. So I would love more people to join and get involved in some of those projects. So you are all, it's by invitation only for now, but you are all invited. So let me know if just message me if you're interested.
This is great. This group gets an automatic invite for this amazing community. This is so great, Dennis. Well done. I'm really excited for the work you're doing. And I would love to know a little bit about your insights if we want to talk a little bit more about your work I know there's some of your work over there, so maybe using the visuals would be relevant because I think it's very much related. Would everyone feel comfortable to move around in the space a little bit? I think it can be nice, so we can shake up a little bit our virtual bodies. And so let's go to the end of the, let's follow Dennis and take a look at the work. And at the same time, so use your keyboard to move. You can use your keyboard, the arrows to move. Great. It's not so difficult to move around. So let's take a look at your work. I don't know where you want to start, but I'll let you present a little bit the work you're doing, and so we can learn some of the great insights from your work as practitioner and researcher.
Sure thing. Well, we can sort of start at from the left, but let me just say a few words. Yeah, I started off this whole thing with a very kind of practical and very low tech approach, because when I was an in-house lawyer, I was in a very large company with a very where English was the second language for most people, and I found that when I came from London to work in this place, I found people didn't actually understand me. So this was partially because I'd said things in a very English way, which was very roundabout, kind of very Hugh Grant, if you can imagine. And I wrote these very long emails of advice, and then I found out just talking to people that they were saying, we don't understand what you're saying. So I had to learn to say things in a very simple way, and that was my journey towards simplicity. And then I also discovered that if I present things in a visual way, it's much more easy. So I started using visuals, so traffic lights and various other kind of visual ways of presenting risk, instead of saying in an email what I think the risk is. And people really responded to that, and that's how my legal design journey grew. So I'm very much a believer in using kind of different tools, especially simple tools. And I think if you can get amazing results with very simple tools and very simple graphics, that can help you in various ways. So what I'm going to show you, just to kind of illustrate this, so you can see that there's a common theme here throughout all these images, and this is my use of the so-called fractal canvas, or fractal triangle canvas, which is an information design technique. I didn't invent it. It's called, there's a thing called the Sierpinski triangle, which is the fractal triangle. But I found out about this later. But I haven't seen anyone else use this in the kind of the legal space. So I'm a big fan. I'm very much love people to try this out. But basically, it's a way of organizing information, and a way of sort of discovering information that has certain key features. The first is that everything is in groups of threes, and that's a very specific constraint that drives simplicity and drives consistency, but very much simplicity. It forces you to think in a very sort of lean way. The second feature of it is that it's of course infinite, right? Because as you kind of zoom into it, you can add additional triangles and then explore the information in additional depth. So as far as you like, I use Miro a lot of the time. So you can imagine that with Miro, if you make things large enough, you can really zoom in and out, and you can put in a lot of information. And the other sort of feature is a little bit more technical, but you can sort of you can have proximity relationships. So with the system, you can things that are closer to each other are more closely related. So you can use the system also for proximity relationships. So if you look at the most left-hand side, so all these images are different ways of applying that system. So with the first one, which is a purpose map, this is we use this to actually create a new agreement for a client. And the task was to create an agreement that was very, very fit for a particular purpose. So we had to start completely from scratch. And we went through this sort of purpose-led approach. So we started with why, which is the triangle in the middle, and then say, okay, what are the three key purposes or objectives behind this? And we drew that out. And then after that, you can start exploring different aspects of that. And in the end, that allowed us to build up a contract. So the next frame you can see is an agreement map that was derived from this triangle. And that allowed us to create a contract that was very, very fit for purpose, very had no waste, And each part of the contract, as you can see, was tied to a core objective, a core principle that was common to both parties. This contract was used by a small SaaS company that we advise. They've increased the speed of transacting. So the whole life cycle, which was mostly tied up with negotiations, they've increased that speed by 50. Sorry, by 50 to 80%. So 50 to 80%. So some of these contracts have, used to take more than a year to negotiate, and I know because I was helping them do that when I first started. Now, when companies agree to use their contract, they literally sign in weeks. So it's been hugely successful. So this is an example of using the this and technology development agreements, they need to get quite granular and quite specific electoral clauses. So who owns the results of the project, who owns the ground, who owns improvements, etc. So I use the triangle in order to both define and then present to them and to the other side what the intellectual says. So in fact, this has been so successful that now we are incorporating that visual into their standard template. And finally, I'll round up, which is finally the last two you see is from taxonomy, an open source taxonomy project called NOS Legal, and I contributed this concept from that concept. So they're going to bring out more up-to-date versions of these, but this is available on their website. It's casting legal work. This concept again because they really liked the constraints, the way that this is done. And you think about taxonomies, generally complicated, and they were kind of really all over the place. Whereas this forces this here consists of being very successful. So that's just yet another example of how this triangle can be used. And I have to say, I mean, I use this model for so many things, and I find it incredibly useful. And I haven't come across a use case where it does work. So again, it's an example of a and for agreeing. That's it. Thank you. Any
Well, this is great. Great work, Marty. Such great work. Yeah. Does anyone has a question for Dennis?
Yes, hi, this is Marco here. Hi guys, hi Dennis. Yes, I have a question, honestly. Have you done in your legal design work, have you used other shapes as well? I understand the principle of taxonomy. I definitely get the point, and it's amazing how you have pictures. I wanted to ask you if you have done any other templates or any other design using different shapes.
Yeah, so I used circles for representing ideaship, because that's an example. You can imagine circles which can overlap like a Venn diagram. That's quite useful to defining ownership, especially once ownership can overlap. So joint ownership, right? So that's been so circles has been the fractal triangle for describing intellectual property. Of course, the most common method is, the boxes and arrows, right? We all know the boxes and arrows is a way of representing transactions, and you can represent a whole bunch of things. I think if you combine boxes and arrows, circles and other elements, you can do a lot. I do want to explore other fractal shapes. I mean, obviously, you can imagine if you've got a situation where it doesn't fit into three, you can take a square, right? And that can be a fractal shape. It's not as attractive as a triangle, but that can be a fractal shape. So, but I'd like to see, could you do that with a pentagon, for example? So
Yeah.
This is something I'd love to explore. If it's something that you're interested in exploring, I'd love to do that with you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I was going to ask the same question about the shapes, and I'm trying to write an article about NFTs, and I think I'm going to use this fractal triangle because NFTs, we have the technological aspect, the money, the societal and art, and all these little elements that are linked to NFTs. So I think I'm going to use this. How can I find a template fractal triangle? You said you used Miro. Is it part of the Miro?
I could share something. I could share a Miro. Yeah, I mean, you can sort of draw it out yourself. It's not so difficult.
That's right.
Although it's a bit fiddly to make it look really perfect because Miro doesn't really sort of. But yeah, no, I'm happy. I'd be happy to share a template with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
I should. I mean, if you are interested in exploring this, one of the interesting things about this as well is that it does actually accommodate groups of 4, because you can see that if you take the example of let's say, you take any of the examples, you see that what you can use it in 2 ways. You can have a concept in the middle, like a core concept around which you have 3 sub-concepts, but you can also use it as groups of 4. So instead of a core concept, you have a group of 4, right? So I've actually experimented with this. So it can accommodate groups of 4 and actually even other groups. You're going to get a little bit more creative, but so it does have the flexibility to do more than 3s if you need it. But I like the elegance of the 3. I just find it such I think there's something magic about the number 3 and about the pyramid and the triangle. There's something really magic there. Once you force yourself to limit your concept into 3s, amazing things happen, and that simplicity that it drives, I think, is really magical.
All right. Well, I think we can clap. Great work. Great work.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to invite Katri.
Katri with us. I see you managed to join the live.
Katri, can you hear me? Can you mute yourself? Oh, I have an echo. I'll fix this. I think it's okay now. Hi, Katri. Hello. I'm gonna unmute you. Can anybody hear me? Yes? Katri, if you can unmute yourself, it would be amazing. Katri is a Hanford fellow. She's doing research at the intersection of legal design and economics. And she's told me she was available for a short period of time. So I'd love to take the opportunity that you're here with us, Katri. And I want to thank you for being here in this 3D metaverse. Yeah, if you can talk, it would be great to hear you, Katri. She's there. I can see you, Katri, but it seems like she cannot hear me. She doesn't hear me, actually. So just a second. Have to log in again and have to log in again and Katri, we can, everybody can speak. Can you try to speak? Just sent you a message on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah. Katri, I think you can log in again so you can have your settings updated, and it should work if you log in again. Yeah, yeah, I'm talking to Katri. She's going to try to join again. And in the meantime, well, I would like to maybe take this opportunity to take a look at some of the works. So we can take a look at some of the work studies. Right here, we have Yvonne's work. I think this is the last part of Yvonne's work. But right on the other side, we can take a look at the beautiful work Yvonne has done for one of her clients. So let's go on the main room and let's take a look at Yvonne's work. Yvonne, if you would like to present yourself as well, that would be fantastic.
Yes, of course, I can do that, Tessa. It's hard to come right after Dennis and such a work, but of course, I would love to present mine. Well, as Tessa said, this was our piece of work that I did for one of my clients, which I'm working currently with. It's an amazing innovation agency based in New York. So they are open to let me do work in the legal design subject. For their contracts, their main contracts with for hiring the team and the team of designers and creatives that are going to work with the agency. So at first they're going to be working with the agency as freelancers. So this is a template for a contract, an independent contractor. This specifically was for the executive assistant of the CEO of the agency. So I focused on bringing to the contract two basic elements for me in legal design, which are visual elements to make it lighter for the user, and also plain language, which was like essential for me in order to them to understand and be able to read and understand what they're signing, right? And of course, the end user of this contract wasn't or isn't a lawyer. So I kept that in mind, like the core of the document, to try and simplify the language for him to read it and understand it. And this is very recently, like this was signed, I think 2 weeks ago, or yeah, 2 weeks ago. So I haven't been able to meet with him and get some feedback as to know if he really understood it and liked it and agreed with what he was signing, or just, as always with legal documents, he just signed because he have to sign it in order to get the job. So I am open to get feedback from the user of the document, and of course, I would be glad to have some feedback from you guys. It would be an honor for me to know what you think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. This is a great contract. I remember yesterday having a conversation with Dennis about your contract. Dennis, since you just talked a little bit about your work, would you like to provide some additional comments and insights on the work from Yvonne?
Yeah, I mean, Yvonne, that contract really caught my eye because I just think it's really elegant, very simple, and no frills. I think just the recent discussion, I think, on the LinkedIn thread about the fact that sometimes with legal design, especially with contracts, we put a lot of visual elements in, and it can actually get more confusing or harder to read if there's too many visual elements. If you have to spend your time trying to figure out what does this icon mean or what does this graphic mean, you're actually working harder than reading a simple bit of text, right? So it kind of defeats the purpose. So I think that's why this one really caught my eye, because it's no frills. It's sort of highlighting the important bits. It's just really easy on the eye. I think it's fantastic. I love it. I'd actually love to put this in Magento. I wanted to connect with you and see if we can automate this inside Magento.
Yes, of course. I would be honored. Thank you, Dennis.
Yes, maybe we'll do it because there's a broader thing, because we're working on some, we want to work on some open source simple agreements like this. And maybe there's an opportunity to sort of take this and expand it into like other types of collaborations other than employment. So yeah, if you're interested in sort of doing something around that, that would be really great. I'll reach out to you.
Yes, thank you, Dennis. I think we are already connected through LinkedIn, so I'll be happy to talk more about it with you and see what else can I do to improve. Of course, this document as it was. I think it's a prototype. For this work, but I know I can do better, and I'm open to get some feedback of you, of course, to improve it. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Yvonne, for accepting to present your work today. I see Katri is back in the room, and I know, Katri, you have limited time. Are you hearing me? Are you able to speak? Let's try again. Katri? Katri, can you try to speak? Let's do another test. We would love to hear a little bit from you, if it's possible. Doesn't seem like Katri can unmute. So what I'll do is, whenever you can, if you can hear me, Katri, whenever you can unmute, please, we'd love to hear from you. So don't hesitate to jump in and speak. In the meantime, what I'll do is, I know there are some designers in the room, Sabrina from Germany, as well as Brownrick, I think from Germany too, I'm not sure. Maybe one of you or both of you want to share a little bit your impression about what you've seen so far?
Sabrina, you go first. I just got here. I'm exploring still.
Yeah, so I'm here. I couldn't see everything, listen to everything, because I get involved in family stuff with my daughter in between. And I also showed my mother what is happening here in the metaverse. So a lot of O's.
Okay, this is fine. This is great. Ivan, I have a question for you. What did you learn on this journey to redesign this document? And what would be a piece of advice you would give to someone who may want to get started on this journey?
Well, I am still learning about it, of course, and I think I will always take in mind that the user is first. Like the whole reason we use this design thinking strategies and methods in the legal industry is to work in more human-centered data and systems. So that's why I think the important part, the first part, the research is really important. So in this study, I wasn't able to take the time to do a deep research, and that's why I think I can. What I take from this journey is that I know that I can do better with this document when I have the time or get the time to do a more more focused research on the on the part of the client and on the part of the end user to make it better. So yeah, I think that's it. What I would say about my journey.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Is there someone else who wants to comment, ask a question about Ivan's work?
Hi guys, this is Marco again. Yeah, I'm happy to, because I wanted to say to Yvonne that I really like something that when I was trying my templates, I somehow struggled. It may sound simple, but the signing section and the introductions with a clear white but underlined by the yellow section for the signing, I think it's what at the end of the reading you want a space where you're going to sign your NDA or your contract or your document, which is something that I'm sure you have seen deeds or other type of contracts between different directors or different beneficiaries is always a bit difficult to find. So I really liked, again, if I have a look at the freelance agreement, I really like the section for the parties, which is extremely clear who the parties are, because at least myself, when I'm reading contracts, when I'm halfway through the contract, I forget what the parties, who is A, who is B, I mix them up always. And also the same pattern and this at the sign-in, so at the very end of the document. So I think it's a very good way of underlining what's necessary. And I really like the colors as well. Nice job.
Thank you. Well, the colors are more like the color. I use the colors of the company, but yeah, I think I was inspired by two previous designs. The one in the that Electra Japanese did, which I think has this setup of the parties in the first page, and the other one was the labor contract, I think, from the this is the German design for I think it's the chocolate factory. I forgot the name right now, which also used this kind of highlighted zone for the signing of the parties. So yes, thank you, Marco. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for this great session. I really enjoyed this experience in this metaverse. We're all getting used to it, but it's a lot of fun to be there. It feels like we're really together. So let's continue the event. I'm still trying to have Katri to share with us. So we
are
actually
messaging here. If you hear me, I'm actually here. I think I finally was able to get going. This is Katri.
This is great. This is great. So let's hear about you, Katri. Would you like to present yourself to the audience?
Yes, sure. So my name is Catherine Osianen. I have been working within legal design projects within my current project since 2019. And I'm conducting empirical research on legal design within commercial contracts and within the framework of law and economics. So I'm using quite a lot of microeconomics tools to actually measure the impact of legal design. So I'm working with a commercial sphere. And currently I'm actually in Cambridge, in Massachusetts, in the US, and yeah, conducting my research here.
This is great. And so, talking about research, what did you find out about in your research? What is one major insight that you can share with the audience about, at the intersection of legal design, economics, and law?
Well, that's an excellent question. I was actually trying to send you through LinkedIn my really recent article about the general theory of legal design. I wasn't sure if you got it. I was actually trying to share it with the audience as well. But frankly saying, I'm working on my cell phone because I couldn't get this whole special to working on my computer. So I think I wasn't able to share it, but maybe Tessa, you can share it for the audience. I think it's one of the greatest things because it's the foundation. Because when I started to working with legal design, I felt that most of the information within the field was quite, I would say, widespread. And I wanted to see that legal design would be something else than just the unicorns and on the pinky fluffy nice things that goes with the marketing. So I was curious to see that we should have legal design on the stage of science, something that can actually be taken seriously. So when I started work on legal design, I wanted to see it on the stage of a science. So that was my final goal. I wanted to uphold it there. So thereby, I'm actually using the tools of economic analysis of law because I think law and economics is an excellent tool to actually measure the impact that legal design has. And I have chosen it on the economic theory of contracts. And what I found remarkable there is we can really cover up all those things that we know already. We know that legal design definitely has some value, but we need to have it on a black letter data so we can actually convince the management or the people who are sitting on the budget to make sure that they also understand what is the impact of legal design on their strategy and their processes of the company. So I would say that the first article, the general theory of legal design, I think it summarizes quite well that what are those, I would say, pluses and cons within this approach when it comes for commercial contracting. So I think upholding legal design on the stage of a science rather than just something nice, pinky fluffy, that is something that my research will have put on the table.
This is great. I'm also sharing the paper. I'm here right in the center of the gallery. I'm sharing my screen and sharing the paper. So for everyone who wants to take a look at the paper, please come to the center of the gallery and take a look. It looks really fascinating, and I'm so excited that finally we get some research at the intersection of economics, law, and design, because this is so needed to push for more of this work that we know it works. But once you have data, once you have research, once you can prove it, of course, it's so much more convincing than if we just say we want to do it. I would love to know as well, I'm not the only one asking questions. There are great professionals in the room, great practitioners. Does anyone want to ask Katri a question? I would love for you to get this opportunity. Maybe Dennis, Marty, or whoever wants to ask a question. Please feel free to unmute yourself and to share.
And I could actually add there for that this general theory of legal design, it seems to be the foundation for the theoretical base. These arguments that are being laid out within this article are also the ones that are being tested empirically. So first there has been the foundation, the general foundation, and these findings from the theory are also being tested in parallel. So kind of way, it's two whole research projects. So first you have created the theory, and then you test the theory in real life to see how well it holds. And as regards preliminary results of the empirical work, I think we are doing well. So we definitely, when it comes to legal design, it's valuable, it's worth it, and it should definitely be on every company's or society toolkit when they are renewing or doing from the ground any processes, services, or products. But just to make maybe a little bit clarification that this paper is the general foundation, and these implications that we have in here are also being tested in practice. And there will be shortly another paper out that will actually give out those results of this empirical work. And maybe we can even, I don't know, share the link for this paper. I was trying to do it through the tools that we have here on the space. I wasn't able to share the link, but I don't know, Tessa, maybe you can do that. You will know way better how to use this amazing gallery platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Katri. I shared the link, but it's kind of a 2D screen that appears here in the gallery. What I'll do is I'll send the link to all of the attendees at the end of this event, if that's okay. I can share the link as well right here on the social media. So I'm sharing the link on the social media as well, because we're live streaming this gallery on my LinkedIn, Tessa Manuelo, and the Lego Creatives YouTube channel. So I'm sharing the link there. I hope that's good enough for now, and we'll have people get a more real version, a less virtual version after. Dennis, do you have a question or comment for Katri? Thank you.
Yeah, Tessa, you can read my mind, right? I mean, Christ. Yeah, I was just going to ask, because I think this is fascinating. We're actually, we're actually writing a paper, a white paper at Majodo around solving contract problems differently. And a big part of that is around kind of, well, there's a piece on behavioral psychology, but the whole sort of behavioral side and human side is absolutely critical to us. So I was just reading the abstract, and those last couple of lines really resonated. So I'd love to connect. I mean, this is such a big part of what we believe in. That maybe there's some way that we can, do something together. I don't know. Anyway, I'm connected.
Definitely. Yes, sure. And I mean, like, I know that we have a restricted time today, and thank you, Tessa, so much for organizing this whole gallery event. But please, anyone who wants to connect or change ideas or mingle anything, please just drop me a line on LinkedIn. Let's get networked, because I think cooperation is the key here. And thank you, comments for Dennis. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Katri. So best way to connect with you, LinkedIn, Katri Nuuksainen. Is this the way we pronounce it? I was not so sure. Katri Nuuksainen, right? Harvard fellow, researcher at the intersection of legal design, economics, law. Make sure to connect, and you'll get the paper by the end of this event for you to read more. I don't know, Katri, if you're still there, if you want to say your last words, that would be fantastic. I think Katri had an event, so maybe she's not there. I'm so thankful for all the amazing people that are here today. Let's continue this event. We have Vanessa's work, which is right there in the center.
And thank you, Tessa, so much, and for invitation. And please, anyone, if you wish to network, change ideas, please drop me a line. So you can find me on LinkedIn with the Katri Nuuksainen. So please just drop me a line with the real one who shares the same interest for legal design. And thank you, Tessa, so much for the invitation, and I hopefully see you guys soon. maybe in this spatial metaverse that you are organizing. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Katri. You're welcome anytime. Let's continue and take a look at Vanessa's work, which is right in the center of the gallery. Vanessa Lopez is a lawyer practicing in Spain. She's been doing legal design recently, but she's been investing so much attention to this. She has really been able to grow really fast. Vanessa, would you like to unmute yourself and to tell us a little bit more about you, what you do? And I'm inviting everybody to come to the center so we can see Vanessa's work here, which is really beautiful piece of work. Vanessa, back to you.
Thank you, Tessa. Hi, everybody again. Yes, I am Vanessa Lopez. I am based in Spain. I live in the north of Spain in a small city. And since 2 years ago, more or less, I have done a change from a traditional lawyer to a more non-traditional lawyer. And that's the reason why now I am focused on legal design. And wow, that's one of my recent works. If you want, I'm going to explain to you what's this project. This is a legal advice for one of my clients here in Spain. It's a tech company, and this is a part of the big project, of a bigger project. This is only the legal advice of the website of this IT company. And what I try to do is to focus always on the user, thinking about the user who is browsing the website and to the user what's a legal advice, because I think that no one, at least here in Spain, knows what's a legal advice into a website. And the first picture that you are seeing, it's the presentation of the legal advice. I try to explain what's a legal advice, why a legal advice a website, who's the user of the website that makes sense the legal advice, and which is the rule why the legal advice is into the website. In this project, all the project, not only this part, I am working in another part about privacy policy. I work with information hierarchy. After that, I use plain language because I think it is very important for this type of project. And in this time, I decided to put a lot of effort in the visuals, because I thought it could be a good idea, like a story, like they are in this case. So the next picture that you are seeing, that's where I explain the in industrial and intellectual rights, and I divide them into the owners of the website has some rights, and another parties of the website have another rights. So in one part there is, I know I am speaking about the third with the mates. I don't know, take some technical problems, and I don't see in a good way all the screen. Sorry. The second picture is a presentation of the company. There is a man swimming and going to the light, like if it was the company, all the dates of the company, And the most important thing, how to contact the company in a very easy way. The third picture is, like I have said to you, the part of the industrial and intellectual rights between the divide between the owner rights and the another party's rights. And the fourth picture is about liability, explaining responsibilities of what happens if you don't use in a right way the website, what can happen to you, and some exclusions of damages, for example. And the last picture is about the compliance. Is about helping the user how to make a compliant for a company. We think, the company think that this is very important, and I agree, that if you have any compliance, you need to know where to go, and even which is the court that you need to choose. So this is only 5 pictures, but inside of them there are a lot of work, a lot of hours, and of course a lot of information, because like I have said to you, I use a lot of methodology of information hierarchy, and I put here only the essential things that I think every user needs to know. So I don't know what more can I say to you. In this case, the work is for a company, so I use the colors of the company and the typography of the company. And of course, I hope, do you like it?
Well, I think we do like it.
Yes, I hope.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for sharing your beautiful, beautiful work. It's such a beautiful piece. Does anybody have some comments or questions for Vanessa? Don't be shy and please don't hesitate to ask.
I really
Right,
like the way I feel when I look at the contract. Usually when you get a contract in your hands, you feel threatened and scared and what is it between the lines. But here, like you, if I was someone signing this and doing business or working for this company, I will feel a lot more. I will have like I will have joy, you know, and like we teach at the certification, the feelings that you want your client to have, and joy and feeling welcome and like
Yes.
having memories linked to a day at the beach is, I think, is brilliant.
Yes, that's one of the reasons that because I decided to use these visuals and this story. I wanted that each user were so comfortable browsing the web and understanding the legal advice. So I decided that a story and good visuals were the best way to do this. So I did this bet, and I don't know what's going to happen, but but I did this, and I am very happy with it.
Yes, I really like your document, your work, Vanessa. I think the use of plain language in your document, it's really plain language in your document. It's really, of course, I couldn't say if as a user I would be glad to read and to know the terms of the web page, but I think it's really simple to understand, and of course the visual design makes it like it's enjoyable, the experience of reading the legal notice of a web page.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thanks for your kind words, and I know you speak Spanish, so that you have said about plain language. I appreciated it so much. It is very hard sometimes for us, the lawyers, to use it and to make it in a legal document, but it is the best thing that we can do for our customers. I think we need to change our mind to put it in value, and to do it. It is the way to connect with the users, I think.
This is fantastic. I'm having so much fun. Well done. Thank you, Yvonne, for your comments and questions. Dennis, you wanted to say something?
How do you know? Is there something like...
We're reading your minds in the metaverse. This is the thing. You didn't read the privacy policy. We can read the minds.
Okay. Oh, so this is not meta. We've had chips implanted already, yeah? By signing into this. Got it. No, look, I just wanted to say, because I really like this stuff, obviously. Especially that last one, it's kind of emotionally evocative. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I'm emotionally affected by it. And I'm just wondering, it's quite an interesting one, because so often when we think about, applying design to legal documents and things like that, we're thinking in a very figurative way, like we're saying, okay, well, what visual can I use to exactly convey a very specific meaning? Whereas what this is doing is just conveying an emotional kind of thing. And I think that's really clever, and I think that's really an interesting one to explore.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for your kind words. Yes, another thing that I wanted to do was, like you have said, with emotions, because I think it is very important. You need to connect with the user using all the things that you have. Plain language, visuals, colors, the power video, all the methodology, but you remember that all of us, we are persons, and all of us, we have emotions. So I think it is a good way to connect with the users, and I try to do that with this.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Now we're getting into the territory of legal art.
Thanks so much.
All right, so let's continue exploring this beautiful art gallery. We have more work, I think, right behind Vanessa's work. We can go and take a look, so we can fully explore this side of the gallery. Let's take a look here. If you want to follow me, right there. I think I think it's Marco's work. I think. Let me see here. Yeah, it's Marco's work. Right here, next to the ocean. So feel free to come and join us on the other side. You can even go through the wall. That's what's beautiful when it's virtual reality. You can go through the walls. And let's take a look at Marco's work. Marco, would you like to introduce yourself? Say a little bit more about who you are, what you do?
Sure, Tessa. Thank you. Yes, so I'm a legal advisor in-house in an engineering construction company in the UK here in Bristol. And yeah, my major are mostly commercial law, data protection, and digital technologies. I have approached legal design in the last 6 months or so, thanks to Legal Creatives. And since then, well, it's a rabbit hole. You just go in and you want to know more and research more and have more fun. So this is my first prototype. I've done, together with some other team members, I've done the Ultimate Challenge, which somehow was a course project for 3-4 months to dive into the principles of and methodology of legal design. And what I've done here so far is I've changed terms and conditions of appointment of services. So as maybe the construction sector, it's quite an old one, and it struggles to change, not just in the way they manage business, that's just my personal perspective, but also in the way they manage contracts. So I've researched a few T's and C's in the construction sector, and they all look very, very complicated and super wordy, I have to say. So my main mission here, as I said, this is my first prototype. I'm still testing this, so it's very, very early stages for me. I can't consider myself an expert. But I had three main goals with these T's and C's. First, trying to provide as much as possible transparency of terms to reduce as much as possible unnecessary words or legalese words. So trying to use plain language as much as possible, and also supports of definitions. I don't know if it's just me, guys. I'm quite sure that both lawyers and non-lawyers are often checking back to definitions when they're reviewing or reading contracts. At least I do. So I wanted to ensure that straight close to the essential terms and conditions, it was possible to dive into an essential definition, an essential legal definition, recalling the statute or the essential case law, but to break it and to narrow it down in very, very simple terms. So every time you're reading an essential section of the T's and C's, you have a supporting definition. And then finally, I've tried as much as possible to develop the timeline between the negotiation and the execution stage. This is, as you can see, the pictures are separated, as this is more like a, can I say, it will be presented as a collection of few pictures all together, a few papers all together. Yeah, so I'm still testing it. I'm not sure what is going to be the result, but I've definitely lots to learn from the feedback, and I want to thank again everyone from the Academy for your kind support and your precious tips. I'm having so much fun. Thanks, Tessa, for this.
So Marco, I couldn't, for some reason I couldn't view some of these things close up, but I thought the thing that struck me was that first page. It's really cool because you're sort of you're doing a little bit what we were doing with kind of some introductions and agreement maps, but in a very elegant kind of way, because you're basically saying, look, here's the, you're saying something about the vision and the whole purpose behind this. You're saying what's in the contract and a little bit of an introduction. I think you're putting so much cool, like so much good information in this very simple way. I think that's brilliant because so contracts start with the way contract starts tends to be quite sort of dull, right? Because you're either starting with the parties or you're starting with like some traditional concept. You've got recitals, but here you're putting stuff here which is just it's not, some of this is not necessary for a contract, but it makes it so much better, right?
No.
Because it's relationship building. What you're doing on that first page is relationship building. I think that's brilliant. I love that.
Thank you, Dennis. My main point was exactly with the first page, trying to establish a relationship, like why you are reading this. I mean, why you want to join us, or why do you want to work with us? Thanks for that, Dennis.
And curiously enough, that first page is in groups of 3, so it's perfect for the fractal triangle of Dennis.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. How? Yeah, brilliant. See, there's a magic to it. I did say, right? There's a magic to groups of 3s.
Yeah, I've been noticing that.
Marco, I think it is
Someone-
a very good prototype. I like the most. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 picture with the line, with the stages divided into colors.
The timeline, yes.
Yes, I think it is a very good idea, and I like it so much. It is a very good prototype, Marco. I like it.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. It means a lot from you. You've been there with me trying to, when I was asking for information. So I'm very grateful for your comment.
Here I am for you. You don't have problems. I think it is a very good prototype.
Thank you so much, Marco, for sharing your work, for taking a leap of faith in taking this ultimate challenge. It was not an easy challenge. It was a solo challenge. And most of the challenge we do are team-based. This was a solo challenge, and there was a lot that needed to be done. And I think you did such a great job printing the last couple of days, right? When we met last week, you got your first iteration. This is the second iteration, and it's just so great to see the evolution of the work. And I think what I'm learning, seeing you explore legal design, Marco, is I'm learning that when you are really willing to learn, you can make huge progress really fast. And I think this is really, really impressive, the progress you have made since you started on this journey. So I want to congratulate you. And I want to give you an opportunity if you want to invite people to connect with you, Marco. Maybe you can tell us how to connect with you, and by the same token, if there's something what is your next step? How can we help you?
Oh, thank you, Tessa. Thanks a lot. Well, yes, I need your help. This is something I've said a few days ago, and I repeat myself again. I would really like to send my prototype to you guys for a user test. So I would be extremely happy if you can dedicate a bit of your time. I know everyone is extremely busy with lots of projects, but if I can contact you, or if you're happy to be contacted, I know some of us from the Legal Creatives group have already offered their time. If I haven't reached you out yet, please let me know. Send me a line directly over the Legal Creatives chat or on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn, very easy, Marco Mendola, or directly by email. You can find my email on my contact info page again on LinkedIn. My next phase, as we said, is to test this as much as possible, to understand what the client wants, to understand what I can improve. So progressively to go to the next step, which is building up my professional profile. And I would be very, very grateful if you can help me with that.
Thank you so much, Marco. Does anyone wants to volunteer? I know there's many people who volunteered. I have seen that in the community hub at legalcreatives.com. And if there's anyone who wants to volunteer, please do so. Let's continue this exploration. I realize I'm on mute. I was saying this Sunashi's work on the left. Let's take a look at Sunashi's work. Sunashi, would you like to say a few words to present yourself and tell us a bit who you are, what you do? And let's take a look at your work on the left side.
Yes, Tessa, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with all the designers and all the attendants. And well, I'm a Mexican lawyer. I live in Veracruz, Mexico. Well, this is my second challenge, and I took the challenge to redesign some terms and conditions of an e-commerce devoted to CBD oil. CBD oil is recently allowed or regulated in Mexico for medical purposes, and most recently even for purposes, but in different ways. So this company, well, it's not the real name, but it is an actual company which has been dedicated to research and the ways and look for the ways to get into the cannabis business through CBD oil. And the partners are from Acapulco, my hometown, where I was born, and I know them from a life. So I was very close to them from the beginning, and I know the business, how the process or the journey for this business. So I get inspired also by this nostalgic of the beach and Acapulco, and well, that's why I put una empresa guerrerense to evoke that feeling of a Mexican and local entrepreneurship. So I start in the beginning to address that the products that are sold in this e-commerce are legally authorized in order to give the consumer the certainty that these are safe products, duly authorized and legally how do you say that? Legally approved. And of course, this is a consumer seller relationship. So the users are protected by consumer legislation in Mexico, and I try to do in the second slide to do like a table of contents so that the user knows where to go to learn about the product and about the process of buying and selling and what to expect, what rights are for they. And I reference to privacy and cookies because that's in Mexican legislation, that would be another document, but you have to refer to it in the general conditions for selling. And also a dispute resolution mechanism through conciliation before the consumer authority here in Mexico. And well, so we have here an explanation of an explanation also of what is the product about, which is, I cannot find it. What is CBD oil and what is CBD oil and the products legally authorized, what kind of product is this? It clarifies that it's not a psychoactive or THC ingredient. And let me get closer because, well, here, process of buying and selling. I have to work further on this because instead of making a list of clauses, I try to put it in a chart, the process of buying and selling, the conditions, the terms to pay, and also the guarantees, the way to do a claim or some clarification, or even the way to get a reimbursement and to return the product in case it is not good. And well, I try to do that on a chart instead of a list of clauses. And I also made a table, I'm sorry, a timeline to show to show how the user starts with the process of buying and selling, starting from browsing the products, then choosing them, then get a placement order, then place an order, and get also the invoice in case it is required, the alternatives to make a payment, and the delivery, and the possibility to make a clarification, a claim, or even to return and get a reimbursement. And also, there are some slides about guarantees and rights and obligation of the user to know what he could do about, he or she or they could do about make a claim, or even if a dispute is arising, go to the instance first of conciliation, or if that doesn't work, to go on a court eventually, which here in Mexico, the consumer authority is the one, is actually the conciliator in a first stage of the consumer disputes. And then if that doesn't work for the parties, then you have to go to the courts, which, as Vanessa said, is not what any company or any entrepreneur wants, but eventually the user has to know that they have that possibility. And well, I don't know what else to comment about it. And also there are provisions about protecting intellectual rights for the website content, and an instruction on how to use the the website. And well, that's what it is about. And I still have to put that into consideration of the users, of the actual personas. And I would say that in this challenge, the first stages of the designing or creating the persona was a very good exercise for me, a very good task to realize all that I knew about them, and to put that in clear so that I can get a mindset to redesign these terms and conditions. And also, I had a bit of a struggle, as Marco said, and I feel that part also of while making the information in architecture, but it was also a very important and necessary step to take. And well, that was my experience through this ultimate challenge. So thank you guys, and I'm ready for your questions, suggestions, objections, whatever.
Thank you so much, Sunashi, for your dedication and your hard work on this challenge. Legal information design is not as easy as it seems. Most of the new legal designers tend to think that it's just about adding a few icons and visuals, but it's a lot more work. And you've done such a fantastic job at trying to use the right visuals to achieve your objectives and to make the documents easier to read, more understandable. Does anyone have some questions or comments for Sunashi? Please, Bianca?
Yes, I think like you've done a lot of work here, but because cannabis law is so new, And e-commerce is also something like new in the developing world too. And it seems like you did a lot of educational work to explain what cannabis CBD oil. It doesn't make you high, it doesn't have THC. It's good for combating a bunch of diseases and for seizures. Some studies are showing like it's also good for treating cancer and also COVID. So you have to do some kind of background work and also explaining how the e-commerce works. For that reason, I think you had to make it longer. But it's very fascinating. I actually know somebody who's a CBD producer in Mexico, and I sent you his contact on LinkedIn. His name is Ricardo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
well,
Great work. Love it.
I actually tested these products when I was recovering from a disease and a treatment in itself, and these friends gave that to me, and I tried on me, and well, it felt good. You still have to know much more about it, and it is also very interesting business that could have many other sites, like for pets or for some other treatments or maybe cosmetic. But we'll still are learning here, and also legislation in Mexico is still starting, and sometimes we get a law, but then to apply that law and to actually put that on a business, you have to interpret, or the authority has to tell you, well, what you can do or what you cannot do. And I think even the authorities are still trying to know what the companies might do or might not, or should not do with this new legal framework. So thank you, Bianca.
Thank you. All right, let's continue this journey. This event is supposed to be 2 hours, but it's always a little more. I don't know how many timeless. It's timeless. There's no time in there. Let's continue. I think there's a lot more work. There's here we have Yvonne. This is Helen's work. Helen's is not here, but we have a short video we may want to use. I don't know, Marty, are you still with us? Are you still here? Marty is not there because there's Marty work over there. But maybe what we can do. Oh, Dora, we didn't see Dora's work. Where's Dora? Dora, let's take a look. Dora has done such a fantastic work. So let's go on the other side of the gallery. You can follow me. We're gonna go right on the other side and see Dora's work. So you can see me behind.
I'm here.
Behind all of the beautiful faces. I'm right there. Please join me and let's take a look at Dora's work.
Yes. Hi, Sa.
Hi, Dora. Great to see you.
Hi. Yes, me too. Hi, hello to all the attendees, and congratulations, first of all, to all the presenters. Really, I see a great and inspiring work, and it's always a pleasure to participate at Legal Creatives events. Before, let's introduce myself. I'm Dora Harar, a Tunisian business lawyer and founder of legal first Tunisian firm using legal design to simplify contracts and submission before Tunisian jurisdiction. I want to say that legal design in my country is not well known. So I have a lot of work to introduce legal design to operational and trying to discover the early adopters of legal design in my country. And I funded to one of my clients, which is who is a Tunisian startup, Loop. This startup is creating a platform for Tunisian clients to book rooms at hosted house, like the same system as the Airbnb Tunisian clients. And this client want to simplify his partnership agreements. The current partnership agreement is so complex, long, and not easy to understand for the both party who are layperson for legal knowledge. That's why I took the challenge to simplify the partnership agreement. And I have a discussion with my clients to know the main needs. And he told me he wants to summarize the partnership agreement in one page, and to use simple language, and to review the structure of the in order to touch very easy the information. The of the challenge at tried verse of I had a user test with Maze, using Maze, the tool Maze, to have the feedback of my client. He expressed some change, and I iterate the first version. After that, I propose this final version that he validated, and I obtained the feedback of the client. He is very satisfied by the result, and he said that he wants to reuse the visual contract for all his legal document, like terms and condition at her website, and he considered a visual contract a good solution to win, to save time, and to obtain an interactive user document. I think that the objective was attended, and I'm very happy to have this feedback, and to start change the mindset of client about the efficiency of legal design, to enhance and to develop legal traditional documents. What can I say else? For the challenge, yes, for the challenge, I learned a lot of things, especially when when it is a real case with a real problem, and we will suggest different solution And I learned, this is my main lesson, that legal design is not only visual. Visual came at the 5, I think, or 4 step of the process. It's design is a methodology. It's research about the client. It's an understanding about their problems and his pain points. And it's also a continue iteration to obtain the best version to the client. So visual aspects and tools happened late in the process, but we never started by visual. The important thing is the content and the architect. This is my my best learning from this challenge. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Dora. I'm really proud of the work you have done, because when you started on this journey a few years ago, it was completely new for you. And today you are able to create something. I hear some noise here. I'm just going to mute you for a second. I think Rudolph, I'm going to mute you as well because there's some noise here. And I think what you have done is just so fantastic. I want to congratulate you very, very warmly for this piece of work that I really find so amazing. The branding, the structure, it's really well laid out. It's very sleek and clean and neat, and the feedback you got from the client just shows that this is a great piece of work. I would love to invite others to comment, ask questions, make the comments. Who would like to share?
It's in French. I'm sorry, because the client is a francophone.
You can actually see the work if you come closer, and yeah, it's true it's in French, but still, you know, there's some good categories. I don't know what's happening, Marco. I hope you're fine. It seems like
I was trying to. Now, I mean,
just gonna mute. All right, so you can see the work from Dora. Closer look. I would maybe Bianca speaks French. With French, you want to say something?
I see that you separated the responsibilities. I can't really read. I know this is like for us and for you, and that's very simplified. I like it because there's no like who is the party, who is the other. Some people don't even know what that is, right? Some basic legal language. So and by segmenting, we're able to really understand what our obligations were in each party's obligations and responsibilities. And the other part I can't really read so much. I tried to zoom in. It seems very lean, straightforward, and I think you have done a great work in simplifying this. It seems very amazing. I'd like to be able to read it better.
Thank you.
if I may jump
Thank
in,
you,
guys.
Bianca. So the objective to have the information easily, to find the information easily. So that's why I separate between the duties of each parties and the advantages of the partnership agreement. So each party know their duties and advantages. And the last sections is about the agreement, duration and jurisdiction, all this information at the end. So it's very easy to find searched information.
Amazing.
If I can, yeah, hi guys. Yeah, I wanted to, I'm not fluent in French, so if not a basic, I'm intermediate, but as a user test, non-being French speaker, I can confirm that I can find where the information are. I can read most of them. Then it's my problem that I can't understand them in full, but you can definitely spot where the information are. And what I like is the different, particularly in the way you have organized the information between point 4 and point 2 and 3, for example. So the point 2 and 3, which are the advantages and the obligations between the client and the consultant somehow, is put in a very simple and linear way where you can actually compare the two parties at the same time with a quick look. And then on the other end, on point 4, when you need to sum up and to digest the essentials, you have a dedicated section where you can just check in dates, confidentiality, and just so I think you have, as a user, I think you have organized the information very well.
Oh, thank you, Marco. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this great feedback. I couldn't agree more. I think it's a great piece of work, and I'm sure it's the beginning of many more. Dora, how can we contact you? What is the best way to contact you? And also tell us, what is your next step, Dora, and how can we help you?
Oh, I need always your help, Tessa. Alors, to on the wall, or have my LinkedIn, Dora Ara, and the next to continue make advocacy for legal design in Tunisia and the MENA region. As I said, it's well known at this region, the legal design. So the next is to create working on a complex contract, maybe with a client, and to show how legal design can improve the client experience in law.
And so can you maybe just say how to contact you, because not everybody can see the beautiful profile you have put on the wall. So for those who are watching on the social media, can you please indicate how people can contact you? Thank you.
Yes, at LinkedIn profile, Dora Arar, point Arar, legald.com. It seems simple at LinkedIn.
Perfect. So we're inviting everybody to connect with you, Dora Arar, on LinkedIn, based in Tunisia. Really, really great job. Christophe Copin is watching on the YouTube and says, "Well done, Dora, félicitations." I think we have also, I remember seeing Yasmin Hiduk as well, tuning in earlier today. This is great. We're about to finish this event, but before, we want to continue having a little bit of fun in this beautiful space. So let's go back in the center of the gallery. Oh yes, there is one piece of work we didn't see, which is Ellen's work. Ellen is not here, unfortunately, but she did a great piece of work, and I think it's right there actually. So it's right next to Dora's work. if you follow me here, we can take a look at Helen's work. I have a video from Helen, but I don't know if I can, I don't know how I can play it right here. As I try to find out a solution, I know many of you have seen Helen's work, and so even if she's not there live, maybe there's one of you who would like to comment a little bit the work that she has done. I don't know if there's someone who wants to share a little bit, comment the work. I think, Dennis, you got a chance to look at the work with me when we were putting your work on the walls. Is there something you would like to maybe say about this piece of work from Helen?
Hold on a second. Is it this? This one. Okay. I haven't actually. Do you know what? I haven't actually taken a closer look at this. I see, so let's take a quick look. It's an employment agreement. Wow.
Yeah, so I can give some context to this. As you look at the document, I invite everybody to come closer and take a look. So to put some context, Helen Knaap is a lawyer based in the Netherlands, and she decided to redesign an employment agreement for the ultimate challenge at Legal Creatives. And the reason for the employment agreement to be redesigned is because usually it's quite a threatening piece of document, and when you have a new employee in your organization, you want to make them feel welcome. And the contract is most of the time doing quite the opposite. It's not so welcoming, and it's not so reassuring either. So the objective of Helen was to redesign it to make it more equitable, to make it at least to be more fair, and to be more transparent, and to be more useful for the new employee. And so she went through all of the challenge with us at Legal Creatives, got to use different tools to create visuals, information architecture, and this is the result. She actually got to test the document, and the feedback was really impressive. If my memory is correct, she was able to gain in terms of effectiveness, that is the capacity of people to understand the contract. I think she gained 60%. So it's pretty good results. What do you think about the document, Dennis?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that everything's on one page. I don't know if this is how you would sort of present it, presumably digitally. Probably some of the text is a bit small if it was printed out. So I expect it's presented on a screen. I love the fact that it's one page. I love the fact that the word count of this is probably ridiculously small. There are not many words in this, which is brilliant. And there's obviously lots of different ways of, well, a few different ways of presenting the information. So that's cool. And I really like that it's a bit like what Marco did in a way, that big purple box on the top right, sort of kind of introducing, here's what this agreement covers. I think that's brilliant. That's so important to have like something that says, okay, what are you actually reading? So I think that's really good.
Nice.
It's a great example.
I have the video here. I'm going to try to play it. So I need to get a little bit to get to know Helen through the video. So let's see if it's going to work. Just a quick second here. I'm going to share this share audio. Second, where's the video? Okay, I think this is the video. If you don't hear sound, please let me know and I will start again. So here's the video. I'm going to put it bigger for everybody to be able to see. So this is when I met with Helen Knaap in the gallery. So hopefully the sound is going to work. If not, please let me know.
Notice I don't, at least myself, I don't hear it.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me. This is very, very
Me
helpful.
neither.
So let me try again. I'll do something else. I think if I share the entire screen, it's going to work. And again, if you don't hear anything, please, Marco, tell me. A second, I'm just going to put it a little bigger. Here, let's try again. You cannot hear? It doesn't seem like you can hear a sound, huh? No? Okay, let me try one last thing here.
Tessa, I just want to. I need to jump. So just want to say, sorry to leave early, but I've got to jump. Oh, just want to say thank you. This has been brilliant, absolutely amazing. I've really enjoyed it. And you know, as I said, I'm a metaverse skeptic, but I really enjoyed what you've done here. So really nice to meet all of you. I hope to you know, somehow interact with some of you. Go legal creatives. I love what you're doing, Tessa, and that's brilliant.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, let's make this the end of the event, because I don't think I can play the video from Helen, but Helen Knapp is the author of this beautiful piece. You can find her name on the wall. And let's finish the event with some music in the main space and some virtual champagne. For those of you who want, we have some virtual cakes as well. And well, let's go to the center stage here, and let's just finish this event by having a great celebration. I'm going to put some music, and yeah, I just want to thank everybody for being here, for being on this metaverse experience. I want to thank also the live viewers who were following us. I see we have Anne-Geneviève Gauthier, says amazing work and event. She's very impressed. Anne-Geneviève Gauthier from Canada, great to have you. I wish you could have joined us in the metaverse. We'll make sure that you can get the 3D experience, Anne-Geneviève. And well, thank you to everybody who's been a part of this. Thank you to Bianca for helping me. Thanks to Chris for making the video recording of this event via the camera. Thank you to everybody who presented. It's just so many of you. Yvonne, such great work you have done today. Vanessa, really beautiful piece of work. Sunashi, great progress. Dora, really fantastic. Marco, that was so great to also see your work. And all of the other speakers, Marty, Katri, Milva was not able to join the Metaverse experience, but hopefully she's going to be there next time. And if I forgot someone, please forgive me. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride to put this event together. And so now let's enjoy the music. Let's enjoy going around the space and talking to each other. If you have to go, there's a leave button on the left. If there's anyone who wants to share something, please don't hesitate to share your feedback, your insights, and let's enjoy ourselves. And of course, for those of you who are not yet part of Lego Creatives, I really encourage you to come and be part of this community. You can connect at legocreatives.com/community and join the community. There's a free section that is open. Then there are private sections for members of the Academy. This is where you get to do this. This is where you get to learn the methodology and to practice it. It's a self-paced program. You learn whenever you want, wherever you are in the world. And there are some live sessions for you to connect with each other, challenges for you to practice and to be able to produce this kind of work. And for those of you who are on a hurry, we have the Immersive Legal Design Certification. Yvonne is taking it right now, Helen as well. This is more intense, this is shorter, but I think the best is to do both, because then you get to have so much more insights, knowledge, practice, networking. Last but not least, in 1 month from now, we're going to have a special event. It's going to be entirely dedicated to the business of legal design. It's going to be a 3-day summit with speakers from all around the world who are experts at legal design, who are practicing the methodology every day, running the business, whether it's consultancy, platforms. So there's going to be like 15 plus speakers that are really amazing speakers. And it's happening in 1 month. It's the Business of Legal Design Summit. It's going to be the first edition. And I really hope you're going to be back, because we're probably going to have one session in the metaverse, but the rest is going to be mostly live stream, networking, and also there will be some kind of boot camp workshopping. Thank you once again. Let's listen to the music and let's enjoy the end of this event. Thank you once again. Did you like the event, Dora?
Wow, well done. Very, very exciting. One of my best events. Congratulations, Tessa, for the organization.
Thank you so much, Dora, for being a part of this. It was so much fun. Who's there? Is it Marco? Who's there behind me? Oh, it's Bruna. Bruna, would you like to share a few words? Would you like to unmute yourself? How did you like the event, Bruna? Thank you so much for being here.
Chose two.
Hi, Tess. I'm sorry. I'm having troubles. I'm muting myself. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, very well.
Okay, excellent. So what a different experience this has been. Thank you so much for this event. It's really interesting to learning more about contracts in such different ways. Many thanks.
Thanks so much, Bruna, for making the time. Tinashe, would you like to share?
Yes, well, this was a very exciting experience. I really like this experience of the metaverse, and I thank you, Tessa, and all the legal creative team for making it possible. And it's like a milestone for me to participate in this challenge, and it was a very good learning experience for me.
Thank you so much, Tinashe, for participating. Well, let's continue on this journey. This is just the beginning of even more extremely interesting work at the intersection of creativity, design, and the law, to think a little bit differently about the way we deliver the service, the way we give legal information, and the way we practice the law to make it better for everybody. I encourage everybody who's watching to tell their friends and colleagues about this beautiful event, so they can watch the replay of part of it to get a glimpse of this 3D metaverse experience. And I encourage you all to join this beautiful community at legocreatives.com. Whether you want to be part of the academy and start learning, you could start learning right away. There's lots of material available for you inside the academy. And there's always new updates, new things happening for members. And also, don't forget to join next month for the Bold Summit, on the business of Lego design, the one and only, which is going to be next month in March for spring. It's going to be like March 10 to 13. Join us via legocreatives.com. The event is going to be released this week. So you're going to be able, well, next week, you're going to be able to register for this beautiful event and get to learn more about the business side of Lego design. Thank you once again. Let's finish with some music. And I'm really excited to see this great work from everybody. Thank you once again. Stay creative. Oh.